to Labour Lens. I am Sharon Ijason. On this week edition of the program, we'll be focusing on the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu towards providing more jobs to Nigerians, especially the youth. We also have news stories for you. We will be right back. The International Labour Organization Director General Gilbert Ungo has called for actions that will promote and safeguard social justice in a rapidly evolving world of work. This statement was made during the World Day of Social Justice.
These concrete interventions, supported by the multilateral system over 80 government partners from all regions of the world, employers and workers' organizations, and further strengthened through collaboration with the private sector, civil society, and academia, are being progressively implemented to drive meaningful change. As 2025 marks the second World Summit for Social Development, I invite us all to make social justice not just a topic of reflection, but the central pillar of our discussions and actions. This is our collective responsibility and our hope for a better future, where every child grows up with equal access to education.
Unemployment remains a big economic challenge, not just in Nigeria, but across the globe. According to research conducted by the International Labour Organization (ILO) in January 2025, global unemployment rate remained steady in 2024 at a historical low of 5%, where it's set to stay in 2025. The ILO said a global economic slowdown from 3.3 to around 3.2% in 2024 and a gradual deceleration over the medium term will limit job creation. While youth unemployment rates are 3.5 times higher than those of adults, global labor force participation rates of women lag behind those of men by 25%. In the face of these challenges, an agency under the Federal Ministry of Labour and Employment, the National Directorate of Employment (NDE), which is saddled with the responsibility of designing and implementing programs to combat unemployment, has been rolling out initiatives to create jobs. One of the programs is the 90,000 jobs created for unskilled and unemployed persons across the country.
All applicants register through our online portal, which has enabled us to establish for the first time a credible database of all our beneficiaries.
This is a bold attempt at providing decent employment opportunities for the employed in Nigeria through the vehicle of skills acquisition training in both traditional and emerging skills.
My crew and I visited one of the NDE centers in Buhari, Abuja. Under the initiative, the Directorate provided training in vocational, agricultural and entrepreneurial skills for the participants, with activities in the public works sector using more than 30 different skill sets. At the center, I met Anita Ojotule, one of the trainers. Her duty is to train the beneficiaries of the scheme on how to sew clothes. Anita also spoke about the importance of having a skill.
Right now, you can do like 3 to 4 things in this country. It doesn't mean you will just do only one thing. Yes, being a lawyer does not mean you not do other things. You can train yourself into catering, tailoring, so many things. You can lay your hands into different things, and you never can tell. Like when I learned this tailoring, I never knew a day like this would come when I'll be a trainer also. So far, some persons have learned from me, and they are still learning, and I'm very happy with what is going on. I take time to teach them, and they understand what they are learning, and I'll be so happy to impart knowledge into them.
Some of the beneficiaries commended the initiative by the NDE.
First of all, I want to appreciate the NDE staff and the boss for this trend to come down to Buhari here. We have the fiscal challenge, we see the opportunity. Once again, I want to appreciate him more.
I feel so excited me to have the opportunity to learn here. I'm so happy.
I really appreciate the class because when I did my Facebook about an Instagram ad with them of my colleagues as well, and when I checked the following day, I discovered that a lot of people were aware of my business. I got messages, I got likes, so people had to contact me. They never knew what I was into. But with that, it has actually improved my business. And along the line, a lot of people are getting in touch with me. So maybe in the future, I can help them to promote their business. I said, no problem.
I also spoke virtually with Mary Afolalu, who was trained on solar energy at the NDE Center in Lagos. She says she has learned how to design, install, and maintain solar panels and systems.
Solar installation and also to transit into a greener nature. But when this opportunity came, I came to it and I see it as an avenue to actually make my dream come true, to actually have an impact in the green space and in the environment at large. So the training has really improved me, it has really empowered me, hands-on experience on solar products, solar fans, solar generators, solar installation, and also it has enhanced my knowledge in the principles of solar system design and also maintenance of solar panels and solar systems. My entrepreneurial skills, as started this training, I've also developed skills in marketing and selling solar products, also expanding my professional network. So I've been able to convince most of my contacts from the church, colleagues, and some are saying finance is a challenge, but I've also been able to also let them know that they can start in a little way, a little drop of water make an ocean. You can start from the solar fan, start with the solar generator, where you don't have to use the regular generator that there is a noise pollution. It also causes fumes, people inhaling fumes. So they can have to deal with this solar generators. And it's also very affordable and it's movable. It's movable. You can move it from one location to another. You are not, you're not conversant with a new environment you're going to. You don't know what the situation of light might be in that environment. You can actually move your solar generator. Use it to power your laptop, your fan, your bulb, your phone gadget, and the rest. So, and I must say, I made some sales this week, and my clients have been so happy, giving me good feedback, and I must say it's really a wonderful one.
So is it safe to say that you're now a CEO?
I am, yeah.
And do you have any plans of expanding, maybe employing people in the nearest future?
Yes, I have the dream to become the CEO of my own. And having a female in the green space is really something I actually look forward to. I actually look forward to being one of the impacting lady in the space of environment. So I really want to make use of this opportunity to make my dream come true.
The job creation initiative of the agency is in line with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu. The scheme promises to provide startup capital, equipment and working tools for the participants at the end of the training. For Mary, who is one of the beneficiaries of the 90,000 jobs created by the federal government of Nigeria, the aim is to become a leading female entrepreneur ready to be part of Africa's transition to sustainable and renewable energy. On the profile interview segment this week, I'll be speaking with the Director General of the National Directorate of Employment. It tells me how the Nigerian government has been able to create more than 90,000 jobs for Nigerians. It's good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much, and you're welcome.
And Happy New Year, even though it's February. It's the first time I'll be meeting you this year, so congratulations to you. So a lot has been happening at the NDE. Late last year, NDE, under your leadership, rolled out a particular scheme to create jobs. Can you bring us up to speed on what has been the feedback on this so far?
Yeah, thank you very much. Coincidentally, we just had a management meeting yesterday to assess the performance of the scheme, to know where we are, as we are gradually coming to the tail end of implementation of the Renew Hope employment initiative. You will recall that we flagged off on 6th December, precisely, 2024. It was supposed to be a 3-month training program for the first batch, and hopefully we should be rounding up in the first week of March. And so this is the time to start taking stock of what we have done, where we are, and to go to the second phase of the training program, which is the empowerment stage of the program. After the training, some of the beneficiaries will be empowered to start up, and some of them will be linked up with some of our financial institutions for startup. So I think we are doing fairly well, given the fact that this is the first initiation that we're going online, staying away from the normal paper process of circulating forms to beneficiaries or to individuals to fill in their details. And I think we're doing fairly well. We just need to, at the end of the program, take stock of the challenges that came up as a result of doing it online via portal. Certainly, you should expect that as the system is not used to that online system, we expect some challenges to come up in-house, not with the beneficiaries, in-house, that will enhance smooth running of the program. But I must appreciate the effort of the staff for them to have picked up very well and to embrace the scheme and to support the initiative. And the beneficiaries are doing very well, and I'm quite happy with the report coming in from the state. And so I think we are doing fairly good.
More than 93,000 jobs created. Can you tell us what inspired this particular initiative?
If you're involved in the campaign of Mr. President, you will agree with me that we need to do more than what we are doing. Because going around the 36 states of the country, including FCT, and the way we campaign and the way Mr. President promised Nigerian youth, unemployment was one of the areas that he campaigned on. And Nigerians voted him because of the belief he was going to change the tide of the unemployment rate that we're having. And in the campaign team, we agreed that providing white-collar job will be quite difficult because the intent now is to create employment opportunities and to encourage Nigeria to be self-dependent. And what we need to do is to go the skill acquisition way by empowering and encouraging our young men so they can embrace technology. They can embrace other skill initiatives that will set them up permanently and make them more economically more dependent and reliable than to be relying on white-collar job or be relying on politicians that will give them handout time to time. And that will not help the system to grow, because whatever they are doing adds to the economic growth of the system.
As a follow-up to your response, you spoke about technology. How is NDE and youth technology skill set, owing to the fact that we have many young people that already have the skill set, and some are eager to learn more when it comes to technology, because everything has gone digital? So would you like to bring us up to speed on some of the activities or plans or engagement you have with the youth as regards technology?
Yes, like I said, technology, the intent is what is driving the system now. NDE programs are meant to cut across the young, the old, and other category of Nigerians. But coming on board, looking at the statistics, I got record data from the National Population Commission. and our population way over 230, 240 million, and with over 60% of that age bracket, the age bracket of youth, young persons. That means we need to invest more in that area, not in the aged bracket, but more in the young persons of given the population spread. And these young persons are spread across the country. And if you look at the migration rate today, it's more of the young persons moving from the rural area to the urban centers. That has a way of affecting agriculture. That has a way of affecting rural production in our local areas. And that has a way of affecting young men that are married. That means they'll have to leave their wives at home, and this wife have to cater for the young ones. It has a way of getting the system back in the rural areas. And so that means we need to really encourage and invest in our young persons. And what we have done is to move our resources in NDE more to the young persons. And if you look at the program we're doing, we insisted that, look, it must be between the ages of 18 to 35. So that affected the number of persons we were training. Because those that applied, more were above 35. If we really need to address the rural-urban migration, then we shouldn't be training those above 35. We should, but not much. Our energy, our resources should move to the young persons in our communities. And so that's what we're doing to ensure that we capture the young persons in our community. And going forward, we're discussing with MBTI, National Technology Incubation Institute Center here, because they have equally invested a lot in technology.
Looking at the intensity of work ongoing here at NDE, can you tell us what has been the feedback from your workers here? How are they catching up, and what has been their input so far?
Yeah, without the workers, certainly we won't be able to get to where we are today. Like I said, they have been able to adjust immediately to the new leadership, and we have carried them along in every step that we're taking. When we addressed them and said, look, we're going to move away from the paper way of doing things here to a digital way of enhancing our beneficiaries. And they were quite happy. Yeah, you will expect one or two resistance, but you have to let them know the benefit. We are working for Nigerians. We are not working for ourselves. And what we are doing is to make it more open, more transparent. And with the portal system, it becomes more open, more transparent. People can have access to what we are doing. But if we go back to the old way of doing things by printing forms, that means just be between me and you, giving to our loved ones, our friends, our cronies, to benefit from the system. So they saw the need of expanding, of making ND to be a household name. And yes, ND had gone down the pecking order, that we must admit. And it's a collective work to get ND up there. And how do we get ND up there? Is to be more transparent, to make Nigerians appreciate what we are doing. ND used to be our institutions in the last 20 years that a lot of Nigerians benefit from the services of ND. And Nigerians benefiting from what we are doing today? It's not for me to say yes or no. But I have a tax, and the tax is to get ND back. And it's not just a one-man tax, it's a collective tax with the staff. And they appreciate that position, and we are working together to ensure that we get ND back to our right place among other organizations that is providing this kind of service that ND is providing. And not just that, in order to encourage the staff, when we came on board, promotion exam was being done manually. That means you have staff from Zamfara, from Lagos, traveling all the way to Abuja just to write exams. In this generation, it doesn't happen. And we told them, look, we can do this online. We can get you to write exam from your state where you're working. And we'll get engaged with one or two service providers that can help us address that challenge. And last year, December, they wrote their exams from their various states who had federal character, head of service, and other services that monitor the process. They wrote the exams on Saturday, and the result came out on Saturday. Unlike in the past, where it would take them 7 months to even get to see their results. The result came out that same day, and within that week, promotion was out. It was even more transparent. And so they saw that it was transparent, and they embraced the system. But if the system was not transparent, it would be difficult for them to embrace the system. So these are new things that we're trying to introduce to the staff. But if you're transparent in whatever you're doing, of course, you get that support. And we're happy that they have accepted the changes that we're bringing into the system. And like you know, we are operating in a rented structure since NDE was set up, 1986. We're trying to move to a permanent office accommodation, and they have gone to the place. They have seen what is happening, how work is moving, and hopefully in the next few weeks we should be moving out of here to a permanent place, and that will boost their ego, and that will make them to commit more of their time, their energy, their resources into NDE activities. And if their ego is improved, Nigerians stand to benefit more.
Looking at youth engagement, it's a big deal, and it's a big deal for NDE because it's the core of your business. Looking at that age group, most of your target audience are either at the university or they probably just finished from school, fresh from school. So are there any targeted program towards engaging these young minds while they're probably almost wrapping up at the tertiary institution?
There are discussions ongoing so that we can... You see, the setback we're having is skill centers nationwide. That's the major setback we're having. And once we can get our skill centers well equipped with modern tools, and that will help to boost out whatever we're doing at the state level. Now, in order to work around those kind of challenges, we are hopefully discussing with the Petroleum Training Institute in Efron, Warri, there in Delta State. We are working with NNPC through the Office of the Permanent Secretary of Petroleum. We're having a discussion with the gas expansion team, and they too are working in most of our higher institutions. We're hoping to reach out to TETFON and other institutions within the system. Again, there's something going on which is not matured yet for public consumption, or the umbrella bodies supervising the polytechnics in the system, and that is the only way we can get to our tertiary institutions to see the models and see how we can tinker with the models, and see how we can encourage certain technical skill courses that will be run by these institutions. And PTI is doing very well. Like I said, we're discussing with PTI how we can get our trainees sent to those institutions and upskill. What we do now is just giving them the elementary skill for 3 months. And some of them will be invited back so we can upskill them for additional 3 months or 6 months. And the only way they can get properly certified is to go to these institutions and stay for under 3 months in these institutions, like the Petron Training Institute. And if we're able to get our modules accepted in other tertiary institutions, it's opened the window for our trainees to be accommodated and given certain refresher programs. You see, with these skills, we can export trainees to other countries that will need their service.
Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
And that's all we can take on today's edition of the show. Join us next week for a fresh edition of the show. I am Sharon Ijason. Thanks for watching, and remember that labor creates wealth.